Guys, look how sick this is. This is our little fire pit. I gotta church it up some, make it nicer. I'm sitting in these super awesome black walnut chairs. A friend of mine, and I met him through Instagram, luckily. And he's been a big supporter of We Defy the Norm for a lot of years. And long story short, he was super depressed for like a decade. He got out of the military much earlier than he ever expected. He was injured from boot camp. And so for years, decades, like I said, he felt inadequate. He felt that he didn't rate. He felt cheated, all these things. Well, long story short, again, he messaged me one day because he found out that we're getting ready to travel cross country and head to where we're at now. And he's like, hey, can I come meet you? And I want to make you something. And I talked to my wife, and she's like, fuck it, let's do it. So he comes over. He harvested this wood from his own property and made us these chairs outside of our shop in North Carolina. And it was so sick. And just another great thing. I mean, so many people have done so many nice things for us. And it's super awesome. It's just so thoughtful. And to know that people care that much and are impacted that much, it's definitely what keeps me going a lot. I love helping people. I love helping myself primarily, and in doing so I help out a lot of people. And if you'd asked me 10 years ago if this is the conversation I'd be having to my camera talking to you right now, I'd be like, no, it's not what I was expecting, but it's what's happening. And this is so sick, and you guys are part of this journey with me, so thank you for sharing life with me, and thank you for investing in me and yourself. It means the world. So in this video, I want to talk about breathing, right? Breathing is so important. Let me give you a quick story. Probably 2011 time frame, I was in charge of an entire special operations company. So what does that mean to you? It means I was in charge of at the time 4 operational teams and about 100 personnel on the administrative support side, the enabler support side for my company. So I had about 160 people that I was responsible for. Now, I had obviously other leadership counterparts, but we were responsible for this whole spread load. Then I deployed to Iraq, and then I was in charge of a SEAL platoon, so 4 more SEAL teams, Navy SEAL teams. I was in charge of a couple Green Beret teams, and then I'm managing guys and gals over multiple countries into a central command. And so that was pretty stressful. And there was a lot of times where I didn't really know it at the time, but there's a lot of times where I would just be walking and talking to people, giving briefs or whatever the case was, and I was losing breath. I was out of breath. And I didn't really think much about it at the time. I was like, shit, I'm out of shape. But I was actually like this big jack dude, and I wasn't running no 6-minute mile, but I was pretty fit, so I thought. And I'm like, I just kind of brushed it off. Well, then it got to the point where we're doing diving qualifications, and because I was a combatant diver. Hey, babe. Good morning. Just shooting some video. Do you need... What? You can see her, guys, but she's right over there. She's waving. I don't know if you can see her. My wife and I are super stoked for each and every one of you, by the way. So thank you. So, I'm diving, and we're doing buddy breathing, and basically what's happening is I could not hold my breath. So as I'm on the bottom, I have to take my regulator out of my mouth, and my dive buddy's diving on top of me, and I have to take my regulator in my mouth. He's got to take his, and then I go from mine to him to me with my unit. And, it's probably like 15, 20 seconds, maybe a little bit longer, because the type of rig we have this dive surface valve you had to control before you take it out of your mouth, because it was a closed circuit unit, meaning we're just cycling our own bubbles, right? Because we're not producing any bubbles, we're just cycling our own oxygen. Anyways, the moral of this story is I remember we were practicing these new techniques because we had a new mask system, and we're in the shallow end. The shallow end's probably like 5 feet deep, and I'm sitting on my butt, got my rig on, and we're just buddy breathing back and forth. Well, I couldn't hold my breath, and I was like, what the fuck? And so I came up for air, and I'm only at 5 feet, so I can come up for air, and I'm breathing aviation oxygen, so I don't have to worry about any type of diving issue. And I come up, and the dive medical officer, the dive supervisor, he's like, are you okay? I'm like, I just couldn't hold my breath. He's like, okay. So we start diving, and I find myself really, really struggling underwater. I was like, this is not going to fly. What's going on? Well, the moral of the story is I was so stressed out. And even though I wasn't panicking around people, even though I wasn't blowing up necessarily at the time on people, my body was super stressed out. I had so much stress, and I wasn't doing anything other than exercising to kind of control it. But the thing is, I wasn't even aware that I had stress in my life. I wasn't even aware what I was actually doing to myself. I worked out every day, just honest, like hour and a half, 2 hours, just crushing it, getting it in, stretching, exercising, just heavy stuff. And even with all that, I wasn't de-stressing my life. You know, a lot of people are like, I go to the gym to de-stress my life. Well, you can go to the gym to de-stress your life. You can meditate to de-stress your life. You can pray, read books, you know, do whatever it is you do to de-stress your life. But here's the kicker, guys. If you're not breathing, if you're depleting yourself of vital resources that you need to function, you're not de-stressing your life. All you're doing is prolonging the inevitable. Breath is so important. Now, you might be like, Doug, Cody, I breathe every day. I know you breathe every day, but have you ever walked and talked and been out of breath, but you realize you're not fat, you're not out of shape? Why is this? You know, you're lung breathing. And when your system is stressed out, you're not relaxed. You're not utilizing your diaphragm. You're only utilizing your lungs. You never, like when people panic, they're like, they start to hyperventilate, and people are like, just calm down, breathe in your nose, and blow it out. They get them to relax and pump oxygen into their system. So this is what I want you to do. If you're like, Cody, sometimes I'm stressed out in my day. Perfect. Welcome to life, because life can be very stressful at times. You need to breathe. But more important than breathe, you need to be aware that you're not breathing properly in the first place. What is properly? Properly is anything that you need to do to function at your optimal self. Anything that you're doing that's not helping you function at your optimal self is not properly. So, if you're navigating your day and you're just super stressed out and overwhelmed and you're getting really pissed off and someone says something and it's just irking your soul, well, what can you do to change your state of vibration? Well, this is it. Breathe. So all I want you to do is go to a quiet place. And it might not be quiet. It might be loud. You might have kids that are screaming in the background. There might be guns shooting or whatever. I want you to go someplace that's safe for you. And I just want you to sit there, and I want you to sit up erect, right? I want you to sit up erect. And I want you to do the same thing. I want you to fill your diaphragm into your lungs. Fill your diaphragm into your lungs. Fill your diaphragm into your lungs. And I just want you to keep on in your nose, out your breath, out your mouth, and just cycle this system through. And what's going to happen after about 20 seconds, you're going to start feeling a little tingly and cool. And all you're doing is you're just cycling your system. And in doing so, you're pumping fresh oxygen throughout your body. Your brain needs oxygen. Too many times we're stressed and we're overloaded and we're like, I can't think, I'm not clear-headed, I need help making this decision. Well, dude, you might just be depleting you from your most valuable resource, okay? So oxygen will help you excel in life. When I go to these big time briefings and meetings, I would get I'd get like sweaty palms. I'd be so nervous. I told myself for years I had anxiety. I'm like pinching my thigh, pinching my inner thigh next to my groin, and doing anything to like get me to snap out of it and relax. And I was like, well, I can't just sit here and like, I just couldn't power breathe. But what I could do is sit there calm and collective and breathe. See, I didn't look panicked, did I? But I'm pumping oxygen through my system. Guys, I'm telling you from firsthand experience, I know what it's like to feel overwhelmed and stressed out. I also know what it's like to say you're trying things, but not really trying them. You're actually just running through the motion and them not working for you. Have you guys ever like missed a turn somewhere while you're driving and got pissed off either at yourself or a passenger? I remember I drive my wife and I would miss an exit, and she's like, you missed the exit. I'd be like, why did you say something? She's like, well, I thought that you would have saw it. I'm like, fuck. And then I would like play victim game instantly. I misplaced my keys. I'm like, fuck, where's my keys at? She's like, they're over there by the door. I'm like, fine, thanks. All right, love you, bye. Like, just really crappy attitude. And I just thought I was being a dick. But really what was happening, my body was shutting down. I had so much stress in my life at the time, and I had no idea how to address it. People, stress will absolutely kill you. Stress will cause cancer cells. You will fuck yourself up. Breathing can help you with all this shit. Breathing can lower cholesterol, lower your blood pressure. Breathing can help fucking with depression, anxiety. Breathing can help with fucking clarity and brain fog. Breathing can help with all sorts of things. But let me remind you, if you don't believe in this, it's not going to work for you. You know, that's the most important thing, everyone. Belief. You got to believe in what you're doing is going to work. Because if you're not going to believe that... Now, I know that 5 minutes seems like a long time, because it really is. Just 3 times a week. 3 times a week. Give yourself 5 minutes. It's a great to start your day with. It's a great to end your day with. It's great to do it midday. It's great to do it before you poop, after you poop. Whenever you have time to do it, make sure you just do it. You have no idea how much this could change your life. I went from, like I gave you that example, missing a turn and yelling at my wife, projecting onto her my insecurities, my fears. I went from stressing out because I'd missed a turn and blowing up on other people to I missed like 3 turns one day and I just didn't even care. I'm just like, okay, well, I'll just find the next exit. Especially at the time, I was having all sorts of cognitive issues and I was losing a lot of motor skills. I was losing a lot of cognitive functions. So I was struggling just to even like kind of be around. And breathing alone gave me the strength to function properly. Well, function more properly, at least without the chaos. I couldn't control the cognitive degeneration I was experiencing, but I could control what I could control. And one of the things I could control was my breath. I still have the ability to breathe. I still have the ability to control and regulate how I'm breathing, because I noticed throughout my day, I was holding my breath a lot. I was clenching my butt cheeks a lot. I was grinding my teeth a lot. That's why I got a gold tooth, because I grinded my teeth all night. I was biting through mouth guards all the time because I had so much stress in my life. Guys, stress will absolutely destroy your life and crumble your empire. 3 times a week, that's 7 days. 3 times a week out of 7 days, 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking you to do. And after you give this like 2 weeks, maybe a week or so, I want you to let me know in the comments below what you think about it and how has this helped you at all. When in doubt, I also use the free videos from Wim Hof. You can find him on YouTube. Wim Hof free breathing videos in like 12, 14 minutes. And it's all around the same thing, just someone else is guiding it for you. But I'm a firm believer is get comfortable with how to do this stuff yourself and find your absolute best way you can do it, because no one's coming to save you. It's your responsibility to make things happen and take control and ownership of your life. And these are absolute ways that you can do that. Let me know what you guys think.